Hey guys, before I get into this quick tutorial about how to make vintage tape and sticker tape, I wanted to take a couple of minutes to tell you about an initiative that Liz the Paper Project is starting. She is calling it My Channels to Watch Mentions. The goal is to help smaller channels like mine who are trying to get traffic to their channels, but the YouTube algorithm makes that very difficult when you're first starting out. I think this is a great way for us to support each other, and very kind of Liz to consider doing this. She's going to wait to see what kind of interest there is before starting it. I will link the video below where she explains what she's trying to do and tells you how you can join. The video also has an adorable folio tutorial made from a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So please go over to her channel and check that out. Hello all and happy Thursday. This is Karen from Write Out Loud Studio. I was asked recently to do a tutorial on how I make my tape vintagey. This was actually what was shown in the video, and I'll cover how I do that in just a second. But the simple way to do it is to use tape. Just tape it down to parchment paper. And a little hint, use the shiny stuff, not the magic tape or matte tape. It has no shine to it. If you do, this is what happens. Not good. So use the shiny stuff. It seems to perform very well. I'm just going to stick down a few more pieces here and show you a couple things that you can do with this. Let's press it down as best you can. And these alcohol inks, this is what you need to use, actually came together in a set. This is Latte, which is what I used on this strip of tape. This is Ginger, which we'll use on the second one, and Caramel, what we will use on the third one. So all I do is just put a little strip down there and take a blending tool and just kind of spread it around. There's a subtle difference in the colors between these three inks, but I love all of them. Okay. And then the third one, we will do Caramel. And these dry very quickly. They will curl up on you just a little bit, but not like this. So stay away from, I think this is called magic tape or invisible tape. I'm not sure, but it does not behave well, so don't do that. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back and I'll show you. Actually, before I do that, let me show you something else. You want to mix and match these. You can do some cool things just putting dots of ink on there, and you'll get different little happy accidents happening. Now, if you don't like that look, then don't do it. I like it. This is going in my stash, so I'm doing it. And if you want to have even a little bit more fun, this is Aquamarine alcohol ink. And I wouldn't go overboard with this because it's very bold. I'm not going to put it all over the tape. But it gives you a very dramatic look. All right, so I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll come back and I'll show you something else you can also do with this tape. Okay, the ink is still drying, and I am going to show you, well, not show you, I'm going to have to explain because my printer's not in this room, how I do this. So I use clear sticker paper. This came from Hobby Lobby from the Paper Studio. It's just printable sticker paper, clear. It's kind of pricey. So I pulled out a sheet of the paper, and I did the same thing to this as you just saw me do with the strips of tape. That's all I did. And then I went over the sticker paper. Once the alcohol ink had dried, I went over the sticker paper with a script stamp, just stamped it here and there. And then once that's dry, you just cut off what you need. Cut it in the widths that you want. This is just a skinny little scrap left over. And you can, it sticks pretty good, but I always, because I have put ink on these, I always back it with some glue stick before I stick it down to anything. Now this is very stiff, so you probably don't want to use this over top of something that's bent. I'm not sure how well it will hold. I only use it on flat surfaces. So every time you cut a piece, you're going to get something different. And I use the 3 colors on this sheet of paper. So that's one option. This would last you forever. Another thing that I did was print, same clear sticker paper. I printed a background paper that I had on the sticker paper. And then I used a spreadsheet and typed in a bunch of words. I even left the spreadsheet lines in there. They're very faint, but it would give you a cutting line to use. And so that each of these little words has a kind of vintagey background, which I think is very cool. So that's another option you can use. Again, this is the clear sticker paper, so it's kind of stiff. And I would definitely back each of the pieces that you cut out with some glue stick, just to ensure that it stays fairly flat. Okay, so let me go check on my ink, and I'll be right back. Okay, the alcohol ink is dry. So another thing, additional thing you can do, by all means you can leave it just like this, is just to add a little bit of stamping to it. I've got this music notes stamp, and I'm just going to randomly stamp that. And then I have this scripty stamp. Okay, so that one right there is a little bit messed up, but you get the general idea. And then you can just store the tape on this sheet and then just tear off or cut off the pieces that you need for whatever project you're working on. For this sheet, I don't think I set it. I hope I'm not repeating myself. But after I printed out the sticker sheet with a background on it, I then ran it back through the printer again with my spreadsheet filled with words, and then ran it back through the printer again. So I cut out one of the words. Excuse my fingers. And so you can see what it looks like. Of course, you could trim it down. And then you have these little scraps left over, which you can figure out something to do with those as well. So don't throw those away. Okay, guys, that's my quick tutorial for today. I hope you'll give this a try. And I thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video today. And I hope you have a fantastic day. God bless. Bye.